Hi, I'm Jim. Welcome to my channel. Well, today we're going to take a look at the new 7Artisans 27mm f2.8 autofocus lens for Fuji X-mount cameras. If you're like me and you've come to appreciate the 7Artisans for their manual focus lenses, I personally own 5 of them. So when I heard they were branching into autofocus for Fuji, I was particularly excited to see what they bring to the table. Let's dive in and have a look at it. So first let's talk about the build and design. The lens is a compact, lightweight pancake design, which makes it an excellent choice for street travel photography. The all-metal construction gives it a very robust and refined feel. The focus ring is incredibly smooth and absolutely zero play on it at all, and that speaks to the engineering behind this lens. The fact that there is no aperture ring was a bit of a disappointment, but when you do mount the lens, the aperture instantly maps to the front control wheel on the camera grip. And I've been using lenses with aperture rings for decades, but I must admit I caught on to that pretty quick. It's also important to note that this lens is not weather sealed. That's not a big deal for those of us that don't shoot a lot in the rain or wet environments, but this might not be the best lens if you are shooting in that setting. Now keep in mind that many of Fuji's own lenses are not weather resistant, and those that claim to be are not waterproof. Now, mounting the lens onto your Fuji camera, you'll notice that it's tiny. It's only slightly longer than the camera grip, and this keeps your gear beautifully compact without sacrificing functionality. When it comes to autofocus, the 7Artisans 27mm, it performs very well. The motor is very quick and incredibly quiet. In fact, it's quieter than some of Fujifilm's own lenses. I can honestly say this is the quietest autofocus lens I have ever used. In fact, let me just demonstrate it here. I don't know if you heard that. It's you really can only hear it if you put your ear up to it. As far as the autofocus locking goes, it works even in poor lighting. I found the autofocus was swift, accurate, and despite my shooting session indoors in dim light, I had no instances of the lens hunting for focus. It locked on the subject every time. Image quality is where this lens really shines, especially considering its price point. The lens delivers sharp images across the frame with peak performance between f5.6, f8, which is pretty typical for most lenses. There is a bit of vignetting at f2.8, which reduces quickly as you stop down. You can see it in this image, especially up in the top right-hand corner. But let's put this into perspective. To get this shot and show you the vignetting, I was shooting outdoors with a bright sky that would highlight it. To get the shot, I had to shoot at 1/4000th of a second in order to be able to shoot outdoors at f2.8. If I was shooting at a more normal f8 for this scene, there would have been no vignette. All of the other shots that I took indoors at f2.8, which is most of the images I shot for this test, there was no vignetting visible on the images. It may have been there, but it was so slight that I couldn't detect it. You really only notice it if you're shooting against, for example in this picture, a bright sky. I wish I could have done a side-to-side comparison with the Fuji 27mm, but unfortunately I don't have access to one. Compared to Fuji's 23mm f2, the 7Artisans offers a more affordable alternative at about 1/2 to 1/3 the price, without compromising on performance. Now the 7Artisans lacks weather sealing and lacks an aperture ring, both of which are present on the Fuji lens. But the 7Artisans doesn't lack build quality. The build quality is exceptional, and the performance is fantastic. And yet, this is a beautiful lens. I really enjoyed using it. Now, in conclusion, the 7Artisans 27mm f2.8 autofocus is a compelling option for Fuji shooters, especially those looking for something that's affordable, something that's compact. Its strengths in build quality and autofocus performance and image sharpness make it a very worthy addition to your kit. Just be mindful that it's not weather resistant. So that's about all I've got to say for this lens. It is an impressive lens. It is a lens I'm going to use. It's going to be part of my kit, and I expect to be using it often. So if you're considering it, it is quite an impressive little lens. So thank you for joining me for this review. I hope you found this useful. If so, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And in the meantime, happy shooting.